Hey everybody, I'm Jason Fox with John L. Scott Ballard of the Madrona Group.
Hi, I'm Joe Kiser with John L. Scott Ballard, the Madrona Group.
Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things that a real estate agent needs to know in order to succeed in the market in 2021.
You know, one of the reasons I got into the real estate industry is it really looked fun, and I liked working with people and helping people. I had a background in sales, and people always said I'd be really good at real estate, and I was very intimidated by that, but I started thinking about it, and I was like, I've sold building products and I've sold automobiles, and why not give that a shot? And so I started looking at how to get into the real estate industry.
People are like, well, I love looking at houses, I love working with people, and I want to make a bunch of money, right? And so these are kind of some of the things that we know about getting into real estate. And then once you actually go get licensed and you quickly unlearn everything you learned about getting your license, and you actually start doing real estate, it's like, oh wow, there's actually quite a bit to learn.
Yeah, where do I get started at? What do I do?
Right.
Do I go work for a firm? Do I go work on my own? Do I go be a part of a team?
The whole process is actually kind of confusing. And even with us, right? Like we introduced ourselves and we're like John L. Scott Ballard, and then we say the Madrona Group, and we're a team, but there's agents, and it can be a little overwhelming.
It is, and then you talk to us and we're like, oh, go get your E-key, you got to get signed up at the MLS, you got to get your license with the state, it's just, where do you start? It's really a hard industry to navigate and get into.
So in this webinar, we're not going to focus as much on some of those logistical things and the tasks, but we'll focus on the 5 things that are really important that you have to learn in order to be a successful real estate agent.
Yeah, Jason, things change so fast in this industry. Things that you need to know today weren't relevant a couple of years ago. So today we'll talk about what it takes in the market in 2021.
It's true, Joe, and I think that we're actually in a bit of a shift right now. We're kind of living in it. I'm seeing it happen right before our eyes. So getting these 5 things down, I think, is going to be extra important.
The first really important thing I'd say is you got to be hyper-local. Even though your license allows you to sell anywhere in the state of Washington, you really need to have a focus. You need to really have a place where you're branded, where you're the expert. So when people come to you, they're confident to trust you in that market.
Yeah, that's true. One of the things that when you get like an estimate, for example, on your home on one of those estimators, one of the things that those big tech companies haven't been able to figure out quite yet is like neighborhoods, right? Yeah. And so, which neighborhoods do I feel comfortable in? Which ones work with our lifestyle? Where are the coffee shops? What are the schools like? What are the parks like? This is the kind of information I think that people still find very important, and they need a specialist for.
Yeah, and if you know the area and you know the neighborhoods, okay, this is the type of house I'm looking for, and maybe it's not available in this neighborhood, but this is a like neighborhood in that same community, and so you're still going to have that same vibe. They're really looking for that tour guide, so to speak.
So, Joe, is it so important that, I actually grew up in the area and I knew that there used to be a little corner store and that what gas station used to be there? Or is it more just kind of how we learn to market ourselves hyper-locally, right? And one of the big ways that we can do that, which brings us to number 2, is you have to be a master at video.
Yeah, video is very important, and that's one of those tools that wasn't, when I first got in the industry, really wasn't used, and people would talk about, you really should start doing a little video here, a video there, and, now we're on video everything, and, to get comfortable in front of a video, to understand the subject matter that you're going to put in front of that video, it's very important.
Every sales meeting we do, every role-playing session we do, I'm like always pounding like, gosh, guys, what could really work well in this scenario? Doing a video. So we need to practice what we preach a little bit more. I think that, you can't hardly spend too much time in front of the video camera, but it's one of those mediums that we can use. It's inexpensive. You can pop up your phone. That's all you need these days, and maybe a little editing software, but you can pop up your phone on a Facebook Live, on an Instagram Live, and you can put yourself out there right now instantly. And if we're talking about we need to make sure that we're in front of as many people as possible, how else do I do it?
Yeah, with the hyper-local focus and using video as a platform to engage with your sphere, with your clients, when you actually meet them face-to-face, there's that level of familiarity that you've already created, and so there's already a level of trust there.
Yeah. We can't tell you how many times we've been out somewhere, or we've met with a friend or somebody, and they start talking about some piece of our business that we did a video about. We really wouldn't think, you never know who actually watches these things, but it's shocking how much people pay attention.
And consumers, usually they start their research on their own before they've even reached out to an agent. And so they're on YouTube, they're on all these other platforms, they're doing their research. And so, this day, the day of I got to be in front of you to consult you that's old thinking, And so if we can actually reach the masses through video content and putting ourselves out there, we're going to reach a lot more consumers that are starting those early stages. And it's going to put us in a position for them to reach out to us when they do have questions.
But even besides doing YouTube and Facebook Live and whatnot, we're using Zoom platform to do virtual meetings, and which is a form of video. So it's kind of becoming the norm. It's part of everyday business now.
Actually here at John L. Scott Ballard, it's our culture. It's the norm. That's how we engage with each other, with our clients. You mentioned Zoom. We have our sales meeting on Zoom. We're always popping on videos, and the way we started getting our agents comfortable with it is even just doing video text back and forth.
One thing that's really interesting, Joe, I think, is that we're actually doing listing presentations where we used to go physically to the house and we're taking sales of homes. We're doing home video tours. So people that are in other states and countries are only looking at a house via video or via a 3D virtual tour. We're even sometimes recruiting agents on video.
And even there's been some changes in the forms that we use today. And I was just on Zoom with one of our agents going over those changes. It's made a real powerful tool that we have access to all the time.
So we talked about being a hyperlocal expert. We talked about the power of video. Let's talk about what it means to market upstream. That's what Zillow uses in order to get people to come to their website, where it's the idea that we're not actually trying to find people that are ready to buy or sell right now today, although that's nice as well, but we're trying to find people that are just still kind of like thinking about it. Like, what would it look like to move? What would it look like to sell, right? Really up the stream before they're actually in the buying process, because those are the people that, are going to kind of pop back into our lives in 6 months to a year, maybe even 2 years when they are ready to buy.
That's exactly right, Jason. That's like these tools that we're talking about, being hyperlocal and being on video, is all part of that upstream marketing. I don't know how many times I'll be at a dinner party, a football party, and someone just happens to have Zillow or Redfin on their phone just because something to do, and they're like, hey, check this out, and so people think real estate whether they realize it or not, and so that's one of the great things about some of the tools we have here, is to be able to send listing updates and their desired neighborhoods and to stay in front of them all the time.
Yeah, and to further that, what we like to do is housing market update reports. Yeah. We like to send out listing notification, both in the form of email and in text. We like to make sure that we have tools available that you can constantly check the value of your home, so you're always knowing exactly what your equity and your buying power is. Also, even doing the educational videos that we talked about earlier, so you are familiar with the process and you understand what it's going to be like to move forward with the purchase or sale.
Yeah, life changes on a dime, and you never know what's going to change in someone's life. And if they're already participating with you, you're going to be that person that they think of if you're in front of them.
One of the things that we promote at John L. Scott Ballard is providing a market update every year for all of our sphere of influence, right? So that they're always aware of exactly the value of their home. And, we can just kind of keep updating that year after year so that we're always staying in front of them and being prepared. Which is also a great way to build our referral business, right? Because we're constantly sending notifications, we're constantly sending emails, we're constantly sending this quality information that people find useful. And so they're going to want to share that with the people that they know and help us, build our business that way.
Hi everyone, this is Ashley Rodriguez with John L. Scott Real Estate. I'm sure you've been hearing how crazy the real estate market is right now. If you're a homeowner, it's really important for you to get an updated market analysis of how much your home is worth in the spring of 2021. You might be shocked at how much it's increased in just over the past 6 months. I'm providing this market analysis by Zoom, so it'll only take 15 minutes and well worth your time. There's so many buyers out there right now with very little inventory because of the incredibly low rates. So simply respond to this email or write a comment to this video and we can schedule it. This might be the year for you to make a move and take advantage of this incredible market. Looking forward to connecting with you soon.
So one of the things that we do that's somewhat unique at the office is we do invest in a lot of different lead sources, right? We use Zillow leads and we use Redfin leads and we give them to our agents. And one of the things that we coach and teach is that those sales are generally not right now sales. They're generally anywhere from 60 to 180 days out. And so, you have to have a system in place in order to nurture those leads because they are upstream leads.
Another example is like open houses. We know that most people go to an open house because it's just out of general curiosity, what's going on with their neighborhood. They're just starting to plant that seed, and they could be a couple years down the road before they're really ready to do something. But we get them into our system, we stay in front of them, and then, they see that we're locally focused, they see our videos, and, when the time comes, they reach out to us.
Most agents don't have follow-up systems, and we're actually surprised by how many agents don't even take the contact information at open houses and have a system in place to get those upstream leads.
So we've talked about 3 of the things needed in today's market. Let's talk about the number 4. And it's demanded by the consumers is to have programs to help them in these markets that are changing so quickly.
Yeah, so we consider ourselves to be a full service real estate team, right? And what does that mean to be a full service real estate team versus maybe a discount broker or some of those others? Is that we do have services that we can provide, meaning that like if somebody comes to us and they say, hey, here's our house, or here's what we want to do, you guys kind of take over and take all the stress out of it for me. And so having those programs available are key for our sellers.
So what you're referring to is Market Ready Plus and Instant Purchase Plus, and that really puts the consumer in the driver's seat. It gives them the power to get a house ready to sell and go out on the market and not take anything out of their pocket up front. Or it gives them the ability to have a cash offer, an iBuyer offer on their home without having the inconvenience of opening their home to the public.
So any real estate agents out there that aren't aware of programs like this, or if you're a new agent, you're already at a disadvantage, right? So that's where working with a company like John L. Scott gives you sort of this unfair advantage. It gives you this extra power, but having these programs are so important right now, especially the way the market is today.
And because of these programs, we're getting more leads, we're consulting more, people are curious about these types of options, and so we're really in front of more people with tools like this.
You're right, Joe. I mean, these programs aren't for everybody, but I think that they're definitely worth taking a look. And so it gives us an opportunity to consult and be that trusted advisor for our sphere of influence and be able to present these options, whether they work out for them or not.
So real quickly, Market Ready Plus is a program that helps you get your home ready to put out on the market through partnership with John L. Scott, and it doesn't take any money out of your pocket.
And Instant Purchase Plus is a program that partners with iBuyers and investors that'll bring an all-cash offer to sellers without the hassle of putting it on the open market.
Well, and last but not least, the 5th thing that you need to know to be successful in real estate in 2021 is all about teams.
Yeah, well, you and I know that very well. As we started our team, about 4 years ago, we called it the Madrona Group. Initially, it was just the 2 of us, but the team concept was already in place. And we kind of understood and understand that in order to really compete in real estate today, because of just how complex it is, that you need a bunch of people and systems in place to make sure that you have a repeatable process that brings that high level of expertise to our clients.
In fact, all of our clients love the fact that we're a team. We can handle the referrals that they send to us. They're confident in that we're going to deliver, and we're able to serve in a way that we couldn't as a single agent.
Yeah, so let's look at what does that mean to have a team, right? And obviously it's a lot bigger than just the 2 of us now, but we can go right down to having a transaction coordinator, having somebody that helps us keep all the paperwork together, keep all the timelines together, right? Because it gets a little confusing. Our lender team, right?
Lender, yeah. We have a new agent development coach that helps when new agents come on board to understand the landscape of all the tools that John L. Scott has to offer.
The title and escrow, right? So we have people that we like to use in certain places. We have all of our vendors in place, right? We have our stagers and our photographers and everybody lined out, our sign companies, so that, we can quickly and agilely move forward towards, a successful closing.
Yeah, and when we were really kind of, our feet were held to the fire, we met with these clients on a Tuesday, and they asked how quick we could get their house sold. And I said we could have it live Thursday and in contract on Tuesday. And I didn't know if we could really do it, but because of the systems in place, we did it.
If all this team stuff sounds a little confusing as a new agent, that is what we're here for. We're going to help you either create your own team, or maybe you want to join our team, maybe you want to join a different team. we have so many things in place to help make sure that that transition is real smooth and easy, including a whole new learning system that we've just started to incorporate.
You know, it used to be, Jason, that Keller Williams really was the name of the game when it came to teams, you know, but their systems are old and dated. You know, today, you know, systems have developed and evolved, and, you know, we have tools today that are going to create a win-win situation for everybody. Nobody's going to be on a team feeling like they're getting taken advantage of or they lost, you know, and that's really important to us here.
Yeah, indeed. And there's a whole program that we have access to that, you know, we're taking a lot of time and effort in rolling out the JLS Elevate program that's specifically built around helping people join teams and making sure that we create win-win scenarios so that everybody feels like they're getting, you know, the structure that they need. You know, so if we don't want you to necessarily just be on a team, if you're a team leader, great, we'll help you do that. Heck, even if you want to try to open your own branch of John L. Scott, we'll help you do that. You know, we have everything in place to help you succeed at that level.
Yeah, it's really at the core of what Jason and I built with the Madrona group is, you know, we had a lot of roadblocks and, you know, we wanted to grow and continue to grow. And so when we took the leap to open our own franchise, we really wanted to create a place that would facilitate every person's growth, whether they just want to be on a team and show houses, like Jason said, if they want to lead a team, and you know, we want to be there to help you walk through those steps and see you grow.
So we do have a mission statement at John L. Scott Ballard, and you can find that on our website or possibly on the link down below this video, but it pretty much correlates to living life as a contribution. And that's something that Joe and I both take very seriously. We try to make service a real big part of everything we do, not just in our real estate business, but in our personal lives as well. You know, giving time and money to multiple charities and our agents, you know, just trying to be there and in a way that's not self-serving, but in a way that we really want all of our agents to succeed. And I hope that, you know, they'll become better agents than I ever was.
Yeah, and one example is the last couple of years, Jason and I have aligned ourselves with different charities that are near to our heart, that are local, and we've leveraged our contacts and our sphere to bring awareness to these local charities that are dear to our heart.
So last year we focused on something that was real near and dear to my heart. Autism Speaks, as my son is on the spectrum, and so we donated a bunch of money and created a team for the Autism Walk. And this year we partnered with Seattle Weld, or Weld of Seattle, which is a program that helps to give people a second chance that have been incarcerated.
For years, I spent my Monday nights going down to the streets of Seattle with the Union Gospel Mission. I sponsored a van going out every Monday night, handing out blankets and basic necessities and connecting them with resources to make a transition. So that's just a couple examples of how we exercise our core value of living life as a contribution. It really is the forefront of what we do, and it's what motivates us to come and be the best agents. Thanks for watching this webinar. We love real estate, and we really look forward to the opportunity just to sit down and talk with you and seeing kind of what your goals are in life and in real estate and how we can support and help you grow.
Yeah, so we talked about the 5 things that we think are important for a real estate agent to succeed in the market today. And if you would like to schedule a time with either one of us to discuss those in more detail, we'd love to do that. We can do it via Zoom if that's where you're more comfortable. We can meet live if you'd like it that way as well. Or you can give us a call at 206-899-5155.
Or you can check us out at www.themadronagroup.com.